What's going on, guys? You are joining me for episode 6 here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Had some business meetings to attend up here this week. That's why I'm here in Tulsa. If you're not aware, I basically travel the world for a living. I just find myself in Tulsa this week. And I didn't really plan on making this today. I'll just be completely honest with you. I had quite a few appointments lined up. Everything went well. Shook a few hands, made a few deals. We have a few new retailers, so that's awesome. And I had a little bit of spare time. I have something scheduled here in about an hour and a half. And I just thought I would throw this up real fast and see what I could get out, I guess. So it's not going to be super structured or organized, but I went to Scooters because I thought maybe I'll have a little extra time today. I went there about an hour ago. There wasn't a Starbucks in the area, guys. I know I'm like betraying Starbucks and I'm totally going against my narrative. There wasn't a Starbucks in the area somehow, even though Starbucks are everywhere, especially in a place like Tulsa. I don't know what the deal was. There just wasn't one. So I had to settle for Scooters because it was close. I didn't want to go multiple miles in the opposite direction because I'm just not going to do that. And I decided I would try out their iced Americano with oat milk, which is exactly what I get at Starbucks, right? It's not as good. It's not near as good. It just isn't. I mean, it's okay. It's better than a lot of the local places, unfortunately. I wish the local places did better. They just don't. The local places are just liquid dessert shops. I've already said that. You've already heard my opinion on that, if you've already watched the other videos. And I guess I've had a few things in my mind. I'm going to talk about, since I'm here doing sales, I'm doing a lot of sales work this week. I guess I'll get into that a little bit. And I'm also going to talk about something that's somewhat of a philosophy of mine. I guess it's a quote. I'm sure I'm not the only person or the first person to ever say it, but it's something that I came to originally when I started investing about 4 years ago. So I'll try to see this through the lens of an investor, right? The saying goes, everything compounds. I firmly believe that. Everything compounds in your life, good and bad. And if in case that doesn't really make sense, again, see this through the lens of an investor. Think about compound interest, which is one of my favorite things, right? It's one of my favorite things. It's why I love dividends. And if you don't understand the concept of compound interest, it's pretty cool. Maybe it'll help you understand why I like dividends so much. Compound interest works like this. Let's say there's a dividend stock that pays 10% monthly, right? Theoretically, if you were to invest $10, right? By the end of that month, you're going to get $1 because of your 10% dividend payout. Now you have $11. The compound interest kicks in the next month because now you're using money you earn from interest to earn more money, because now rather than 10% on $10, you're getting paid 10% on $11, which is going to be a little bit more. So every time you get paid back, your principal gets bigger. When you multiply that by the dividend payout, it just keeps growing and growing and growing, which is why I like dividends, right? It's compound interest. I believe everything in your life compounds that way as well. Every little thing you do, whether it's working out, learning new skills, making more money, it translates everywhere. And basically the way that it translates to your daily life is the more you do things, the better you get at them, the more efficient you get, the more profitable it gets, the more you can do it, the more you can automate and scale and grow and grow and grow. That's compound interest. That's compounding, right? And that is just one of the most important philosophies to my life, I believe, and it's one of the, I don't know, I guess it's one of the coolest things I've ever said, even though, again, like I said, I'm sure someone else has said it way before me, right? I don't know, I'm sure. But I really do believe it. I really do believe it. Now, as far as the sales stuff, a lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot. Some people do ask me about sales, and some people want to know more about what I do. I kind of explained that in episode 4. I'm not sure if I explained why I'm here in Tulsa. So my business, we do mainly wholesale. We are getting into the retail game because profit margins are so much higher and it's a lot quicker. We can do it from anywhere in the world. We can do it online. But the volume that we get from wholesale is what keeps us in it. So again, I own a luxury smoking accessory brand. We have all kinds of cool stuff. And we really, a lot of our retailers in the Oklahoma City area, because that's really just kind of where I live, you know, smaller towns, Chickasha, Lawton. And we do pretty good here in Tulsa, but we haven't spent a whole lot of time here. So the reason why I literally get paid to travel the world, which is why I say that, is because I get to go to a new city, right? And I get to basically lay my stake, my flag in the ground, because we get to go to the retailers here, knock on their door, basically show them what we have to offer and sell them our products. And the more and more retailers we get, the more income we have, because there's more and more people that want our stuff, which is why we haven't been able to travel as much as here as we would have liked. This is another example of compounding, right? The more and more we travel, the more retailers we have, the more people we have consistently reaching out to us for more inventory. So our demand goes higher and higher and higher. And in business, That's a good thing, but it's a unique problem. You want your supply to at least keep up with it, because if you ever don't have enough product for your demand, then it's just an opportunity cost, because you have people wanting things that want to give you money and you don't have the products for them to give you the money for, right? But so that is why I say I get paid to travel. It's because I will go to whatever major city, spend time there. I'm not going to say knock on the door. I've never done that. We just walk through the door and convince people to buy our stuff, right? Now, when it comes to the whatever advice I would give you for sales, if you are in sales, even if you aren't, it's really just a psychology thing. Whatever you learn from sales can apply to literally anywhere in life, because sales is one of those things. It's like it really exposes the human psychology, right? It exposes human greed. It exposes what people find attractive, how to talk to people, how to convince people to be on your side, right? There's a lot to it, but you can take a lot of things and a lot of lessons that you learn in sales to other portions of your life, because you're dealing with people, right? You're seeing good and bad sides of them. The advice I could give you is, and it's something that I learned a long time ago getting into the sales business. It's taught me a lot. It's the hardest business you can be in. By the way, it's the hardest career. It's the lowest success career that there is. I guess I'm either just good at it or I picked a good industry. I didn't used to be good at talking to people. Now it's what I get paid to do. So of course I'm going to be a lot better at it. And that is when you are negotiating, when you enter a deal, when you're trying to offer somebody or sell somebody something, you have to give yourself room for I'm not going to say error, give yourself a little extra on top, right? Because today there was a deal that reminded me of this lesson that I learned early on in business. Never give someone your best deal right off the bat. And that might sound super obvious. And really what that means is when you go into a negotiation, immediately as someone's like, what's the best deal you can give me on this? You always give them a price that's a little higher than what you're comfortable with, because that person's trying to talk you down. And there's a certain psychology. It's not even about the price of things. People don't just want a certain price. They just want to know that they got the best deal they could get. It's a psychology thing. If I walk into a store offering a product twice as expensive as I do, they're happy with buying it as long as they think they got a good deal on it, right? So you always go into a negotiation kind of overpricing whatever your product or whatever your service is. If you think your service is worth $100, if you're happy with being paid $100 and someone's like, well, how much do you cost? 125, 110, right? And this is a very bare bones example. I'm not saying literally those numbers. But anytime you give yourself a little extra margin, you allow people to talk you down, which is great for their psyche, okay? Because again, it's a psychology thing, because now you have someone that's like, oh, I talked him down. I got a good deal. I got a really good deal on this. I talked him down in price. That person thinks they're getting a good deal, regardless if they are or not, right? Don't gouge people, but they think they're getting a better deal just because psychologically they think they talked you down. And now you're at a place where you're comfortable and you have good margin. So, and we do this online as well, right? And none of you guys are probably going to be customers of my brand. If you've ever noticed, I don't promote my brand to you guys. I'm not a smoker. I'm not, which is ironic because I'm the owner of one of the largest smoking accessory brands in the country. I'm not a smoker. I don't partake. I have, but I don't anymore. I just don't. This is my only vice, coffee, right? It's literally my only vice. I'm not going to encourage you guys to smoke weed or anything, not even tobacco. But if you don't know what I sell, we have some pretty cool stuff. But again, give yourself plenty of room for people to talk you down. Never start out at your comfortable price, right? If you mow lawns, right? Always add like an extra 15 to 20% on top. But when it comes to the retail, we even do this online. For instance, we have these little glass chillums. We're perfectly fine with selling them at $10. We started out selling them for $10 online. And what would happen is they wouldn't sell as much until they were on sale. So we would put them on sale and they'd be like $8 and people would buy them out, right? So much that we were low on inventory. So naturally as a business, when you're low on inventory, you raise your prices, right? This is how inflation's created, by the way. If you don't know how inflation works, go watch the How Inflation Is. I think it's called How Inflation Works or What Causes Inflation here on the Patreon. Go listen to it. It's very valuable. And by the way, if you're not a paid member of the Level Up tier, you're missing out, bro. If you want to know how I got to where I'm at, how I get to do what I do, you're going to want to be in there. There's a lot of sauce. Anyways, there's a lot of, when it comes to the inflation stuff, it's really because people are buying things at a certain price and whoever's selling it says, we're getting low on inventory. Let's raise our prices. So naturally, that's what we did. So rather than selling them for $10, we have our chillums marked at $13 online, right? And then what we will do is we will put them on sale for 25% off, and then after taxes and free shipping, it ends up being like 10 bucks gross, right? So then we're profiting pretty good because we've gotten that down to an area where we're comfortable, but people are buying it because they think they're getting a good deal because it's on sale, right? It's just the human psyche. So things aren't, if you don't take anything out of this, things are not always about price. It's about the value that you convey, but it's really about whether or not they think they're getting a good deal. That's what it's really about, right? So give yourself plenty of room for error, plenty of room for people to talk you down, because it's good for the psychology, and they think they're getting a good deal, right? This is why certain luxury brands do what they do, because it isn't about the price. It's about the value that is conveyed. So when it comes to sales, there's a couple things that I can tell you is get really good at conveying value. I'm not saying to make shit up. Have solid products and services, but don't have a really solid product and service and not justify it by not conveying its full value. So get good at conveying value to anything in your life, even yourself if you're trying to apply for a job. And give yourself plenty of room to be talked down. Be strategic about your pricing and what you're offering, so that way people can talk you down to a price that you're comfortable with and they're comfortable with, and everyone wins. It's a psychology thing, guys. That's really all it is. But I don't know if I have a whole lot other than that, to be completely honest with you. I just wanted to talk about sales today. I wanted to hop on here because I'm pretty busy. I'm probably going to be going to Dallas. If not next week, the week after. Depends on what kind of inventory we have after we get back from Tulsa. We're fixing to get really busy, guys, which is really good for you guys because you guys get some cool content. You get to see, that I'm legitimate. I'm not just like telling you guys I travel for a living, and I'm not. I really do. That's what I get paid to do. But I haven't done near as much traveling this year as I did last year, but I've still made a lot more money because I have more clients for my business. And again, it's compounding. The more footwork I put in, the easier my job gets in the future. It's compounding. But I really do love traveling. It's the best part about what I get to do, and it's really cool that I'm in this position. And something else that's cool is we're here in Tulsa, and my brother and I thought, because I work with my brother, by the way, some of you may not know that. My brother and I are co-owners of the same business, which is super cool. It's an absolute superpower. If you're not utilizing your relationships, I don't know what to tell you. Not everyone's going to have a good relationship with their family, with their friends, but man, that's an advantage. If you have a brother, if you have a cousin, I don't care if you have beef. Find a way to put it aside, because if there's anyone I can trust in this world, it's going to be my brother. I don't have to worry about him stealing money. I don't have to worry about him embezzling anything or being weird or sabotaging me for his own good. I know that would never happen. So that's part of why we've been able to grow this thing so big so quickly, is because we are leveraging our relationship. My brother and I are like best friends, man. We never argue or really fight about anything, right? And that's kind of where we are, because we work together and we trust each other, and we don't take from each other. But anyways, what I was getting to is what's really cool is we've now gotten to the point to where, for instance, we're here in Tulsa. My brother and I thought, you know what? Let's give back to mom and dad. Let's give them a free vacation. Let's just let them stay in this basically resort that we're staying in. They just get to kick their feet up all day, right? There's food here, there's a pool, there's a hot tub, nice views, there's a Bass Pro Shop right across the street, right? There's all kinds of shopping around us. Why not give back a little bit, All the years that they've supported us, bought us school supplies, basketball shoes, gave us a place to live while we were starting our business. It feels good to give back a little bit, it feels good to let them know that it was all worth it. You know what I mean? So we took our parents with us, and they just get to do what they want all day while my brother and I are working out in town. Super, super cool. But I guess that's a whole nother important lesson, guys, is leverage your relationships. The problem with society and really American culture is that everyone wants to be independent and do their own thing, and they don't want to leverage relationships. They don't want to work with the people around. Like, if you've ever wondered why people from other countries are so wealthy, right? Why people who come here from Asia or the Middle East even, it's because their culture teaches them to work together. You want to know why those people are pulling up in Porsches and McLarens and G-Wagons and why they make so much money? It's because they share their resources and they build together, right? And I see this time and time again. I'm in the smoking accessory industry. Many of the guys that I deal with are not American. They're from the Middle East. They're either from, the Middle East or India, right? 90% of the time that's where they're from. A lot of the times they're brothers or the owner is the son and the dad is like the person who has the money, but they work together. Some people would say, oh, that's daddy's money, or oh, he's got, no, they have a better culture when it comes to working together, and that's why they are here in America. Everyone has their own individual bills. Everyone has their own apartment all by themselves. They have their own phone bill all by themselves, their own this and this and this and this, because they want to be a grown-up and they want to be independent. But when you learn to grow with other people and work with other people, the speed at which you can scale and grow your income, it's unimaginable, right? And it's such a huge, and I understand not everyone has siblings. Some people's siblings really are bad people. They're on drugs or they're just not trustworthy. I get it, right? But if you can find a way to leverage your relationships, if you can find a way to work with your brother, with your cousin, even with your best friend, right? Do that. Like this whole thing about trying to be an independent, like lone wolf, successful guy, it's not going to happen, guys. You need a team of people around you. You can do your own thing. Certainly, you can be successful, but you're not going to outrun the people, I guess, like me, who have a team of people who all work together and trust each other because they can grow at way faster speeds because they can delegate certain tasks. The trustworthiness means that there's a lot less bullcrap in between, a lot less footwork, and everyone wins. So I guess if you take anything from this, it is one, to understand that everything compounds. Everything in your life compounds, and consistency creates compound interest, right? Consistency is what creates that. If you do something consistently, the results will compound because you're going to get better at it, you're going to get more efficient, you're going to get faster, more profitable, and you can spread yourself a little thinner. You can automate and grow everything on top. Everything in your life is that way for the most part. And when it comes to sales, find a way to convey the value and be good at setting your prices in a position in which you're comfortable being talked down into a different price, right? And maybe that sounds bad, right? But that's the name of the game. Everyone does it. And the other thing is leverage your relationships, guys. Leverage your relationships. Find a way to work with the people around you, because if you have a team, you're unstoppable. You're just complete, because there's too many people who want to be independent, do their own thing, and you will just run right over the top of them. And you can grow so much faster if you can work with people, if you can get them on board your vision. There's a really good book for that. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People If You Don't Just Have a Brother or people that you trust so much. Read that book. It's really good for understanding how to just get people on your side, how to grow a team, it's not even about taking advantage of people. It's just about how to set things up in which everyone wins. And if everyone wins, then there's no reason for anyone to stab you in the back, essentially. How to cultivate those relationships. And I guess other than that, I know I've just been blabbering again. I didn't have a script. I guess I've never had a script, but I've always had topics in my mind for like days. I didn't have that today. I just kind of wanted to ramble because I don't know when I'm going to have time to do episode 7. I may be in Dallas before I do that. I don't know, but right now I'm in Tulsa, so that's pretty cool. I would love to do these episodes anytime I go anywhere, but I'm a very busy guy, guys. When I travel, I'm very busy all day. Basically, from the moment stores open to the moment they close, tonight's the one exception, I'm out just hitting the road. And I'm putting in the footwork, I'm shaking hands, I'm making deals, talking to probably 30 or 40 different stores a day, right? This is why I have the skill set that I have and the knowledge that I have on sales and psychology and business, because I've been doing it hardcore, pedal to the metal for the last 4 years. And that does a lot for you. But it's another example of compound interest. I've gotten better and better and better, which causes me to have better results, which causes me to do even better, right? Compound interest, guys. So anyways, again, you are joining me from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I guess I decided to film at a good time because the sun's going down, it's fixing to get dark. It's really beautiful. I wish this fence wasn't here. You can see the skyline from here and everything. It's really nice, guys. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for being here. It's really cool that you guys take the time out of your day to come listen. This is by far the most viewed videos on my Patreon are the Money Moves videos, which makes sense because they are free. And I guess some people want to just hear me talk and want to hear me speak my mind. It's a good place to be. I think for episode 7, I'm going to have you guys send me questions. I really liked doing the Q&A. It gives me more of an idea of what I'm going to talk about, because I want to talk about things you guys are interested in. So when I'm thinking about topics, it stresses me out a little bit because I want to know that I'm actually giving you guys value. That's what I'm here to do. So in the meantime, I'm probably going to post something on Snapchat. Either way, even if I don't post something for a little while, message me right now on Snapchat what questions you would have for me regarding business or investing or sales or even about me. If there's any questions that you think are even remotely relevant, please shoot those to me. I would love to answer them. I would love to have I'll probably pick like 5 to 10 questions. I'm gonna go hard on episode 7, hopefully, and answer some good questions. I need them from you guys. So I'll probably post something to give you the opportunity to swipe up. But right now, either way, right now, if you're watching this, go to my account on Snapchat and shoot me a text if you have questions. I might answer them for you right then and there. Either way, I'm gonna read your question if it's good, and if I think other people probably will have that question, I'm probably gonna be answering it in episode 7. But until then, guys, again, I definitely appreciate your time, and I will be seeing you in the next one.